Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, a huge thanks goes out to the folks at Sony San Diego Studio for having a group of us out to test MLB The Show 20 and offer feedback on the game that is now less than a week away. In the process, they gave us a legend to reveal, so today I've got mine for you. Let's get started. George Foster had an excellent 18-year career with 4 teams, including 11 years with the Reds, 5 with the Mets, 3 with the Giants, and a quick 15-game stint with the White Sox to end his career. He was nicknamed Yahtzee by Pete Rose for some reason, probably having to do with gambling, but I couldn't find anything explaining exactly why. A columnist once summed up Foster's discipline in his mind and on the field by writing, "It is against George Foster's convictions to smoke, drink, chew, curse, or leave men on base." Foster was a 5-time All-Star, a 2-time World Series winner as part of the Big Red Machine, and the 1977 MVP, thanks to a truly brilliant season during which he hit .320 with a .382 on base, an MLB best .631 slug. He also led baseball in home runs with 52 and runs batted in with 149. He led the National League with a .1013 OPS and 124 runs, too. That offense, along with strong defense in left and center field, led to an 8.9 wins above replacement season according to Fangraphs, second to only Mike Schmidt at 9.2. When WAR totals are that close, the vote can really go either way, so he was a plenty-worthy MVP winner. Some of the MVPs back in the day, obviously WAR didn't exist, and some of the winners are a little bit suspect, but George Foster was not one of those. He finished second to teammate Joe Morgan in 1976 and was a down-ballot candidate in 1978, 1979, and 1981. All told, Foster amassed 34 wins above replacement over 6 seasons from 1976 to 1981, trailing only Schmidt's 47 and George Brett's 39. His 198 homers in that time were second to only Schmidt's 221, and his 671 runs batted in lapped the field, with Jim Rice coming in second at 616. By WRC Plus, weighted runs created plus, an advanced statistic where 100 is average and every point above 100 signifies being a percentage point better than average, Foster had a 151 from 1976 to 1981, meaning he was 51% better than league average. He was essentially an extra half player for the Reds in that time. I can't stress enough how strong that is. If you had a player and a half in the form of one player, that's pretty excellent. That's some Mike Trout level stuff, to be honest. He trailed only, you guessed it by now, Mike Schmidt, who put up a 156 mark in that same time period. This time period, 1976 through 1981, will be the basis for his signature series card, while his long and impressive career will offer opportunities for Sony San Diego to create awesome bronze, silver, and gold iterations of Foster as well. The right-handed hitter had success against both righties and lefties during that 6-year peak, so his best cards, whether based on the 77 MVP or a signature series, or perhaps we get both, will be balanced and capable of absolutely raking. His 1983 season with the Mets could be a lefty-crushing BR stud as he hit .261 with a .255 ISO. ISO is just your slugging minus your batting average, so it takes out the singles and really gets to the heart of your power, along with 12 home runs against lefties in 174 plate appearances, while hitting .234 with just a .150 ISO and 16 homers in 473 plate appearances against righties. His 1985 season, also with the Mets, gives off a silver vibe as a more balanced hitter, though still favoring his work against lefties. He had a 197 ISO against both righties and lefties, but his .271 average against lefties was 13 points better than his mark against righties. The 36-year-old had definitely slowed down by that time, so his defense wouldn't be that good, but it still feels like a potential BR beast. Truthfully, we'd probably only get one of 1983 or 1985, not both, as there'd likely be too much overlap. But I'll take either, and I'll put him in a BR lineup regularly, especially if Foster proves to rake, as his stats should be capable of. There are several seasons capable of generating a quality gold card, but I'd like to highlight 1976. I mentioned earlier that he finished second in MVP to teammate Joe Morgan. And first off, it'd be different than the bronze and silver options, as he did his best work against righties that season with a 319 average, 227 ISO, and 19 home runs in 415 plate appearances. He hit 281 with a 219 ISO and 10 home runs in 212 plate appearances against lefties. He also played strong defense, primarily in left, while also getting time in both center and right field. And he even flashed some speed in this season with a career-best 17 stolen bases on just 20 attempts. So this would be a very well-rounded card, likely winding up as a high gold. So there it is. That's the rundown on George Foster. Most of you are likely familiar with the Big Red Machine, and we've already had some fun using key components from those teams like Johnny Bench, Joe Morgan, Ken Griffey Sr., and Tony Perez. Foster now joins their ranks, and we should have a lot of fun with his premium power and strong contact profile.